Alright, what's going on, everyone? So, I have been trying to figure out what is the... What the hell? What are you... Get out of here! Oh, Jesus! Alrighty. Anyways, I've been trying to figure out what is the best mix that you can come up with that sells for the most money. I don't know if this is probably the best mix or the most profitable, but I'm going off of the highest multipliers. And what I mean is on the wiki, there's a section that tells you what effect does what and also what the multiplier is. And you multiply that however many times, or I should say however many effects you have, you multiply that by the amount of what your product originally is. So whether it's the green stuff, the flower, or the crystals, they all have different multipliers. The website is the wiki for the Schedule 1 guide as far as mixes, multipliers, characters, everything they like, whatnot. I'll go ahead and put a link into it down in the description so that way you can take a look at it as well. And if my phone would just stop blowing up, Jesus. But anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the mix that I came up with, or that I should say that I found. I have a chart that I made of the 3 best ones. It's Cyclopean, Zombifying, and Shrinking. And I wanted to figure out, can I get those 3 effects in one mix? And come to find out, you can. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you what the prices are for each individual green plant, the crystal, and the flower. Now obviously the flower is going to be the most profitable because base price it's 150 at a high quality. So I'll go ahead and show you that, but we'll go ahead and do that together so that way you can see the ingredients needed to get those 3 main effects. Now this is an 8-step mix, so there will be some other effects on there that I will show you as well. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to find out what the total price is for all 8 of those mixes for each individual drug. So over here I've started to grow all of the plants. I've got all 4 of them. I've got the OG Kush, I've got the Sour Diesel, the Green Crack, and the Granddaddy Purple. So we'll go ahead and cut those down. Ignore this mess. I've been working on this a lot, as you can see. But anyways, let's cut these down and we'll start mixing. But I'll go ahead and show you what the ingredients are that you need to mix it and how much it's going to cost to do one individual mix as far as all 8 go. All right, now that we got those all cut, I'm going to start off with the green stuff. And so this is what the mix is going to be. And it's going to be in order from left to right on both lines. You're going to need kook, gasoline, batteries, a mega bean, another kook, some iodine or iodine, however the hell you want to say it, mega bean, and an energy drink. And it's going to be in that order. We'll start with the OG Kush, and we will grab all of our items that we need. We'll start with the OG Kush. We'll go ahead and throw this in here, the kook, and that gives us energizing, as you can see. Now we'll throw the gasoline in here, and that will give you euphoric and toxic. Throw that in there, throw it in with the battery. This immediately gives you zombifying. So right there, that gives you one of the top 3. Pull that out, put the mega bean in, begin it, and then this gives you additional effects. Now you can only have up to 8 effects on here. Let's throw in another kook here. Now this again gives you energizing and euphoric, but now we have Cyclopean, and this right here, now we have the 3rd and 2nd best, or I should say the 3rd and 2nd most profitable because of their multipliers. Let's go ahead and we'll throw in iodine, and now we have even more effects. Now we have seizure inducing, and that's important because when you mix that with a mega bean, then that's what is going to give you focused right there. And then when you mix this with an energy drink, you have these 3 here. And now we have Cyclopean, Zombifying, and Shrinking. And that's what you want. you want to have these three here, because now you have Cyclopean, Zombifying, and Shrinking, which are the three most profitable effects. And they will also give you the best multipliers, with Cyclopean being a 0.56, Zombifying is a 0.58, and a Shrinking is a 0.60. So now if we take this and we look at to see what the most profit is you can get on this, what is this called? The Fruity Cheese. So right there it is, Fruity Cheese. For the OG Kush is $118. So now why don't we try the Sour Diesel and see what this does. So with Sour Diesel, it's called Mega Gruel, and then that gives you $133. So now we'll try this with the Green Crack. All right, so now that we've done it with Green Crack, it's called Dream Fuel, and this one sells for $129. Now, last but certainly not least, let's try it with the Granddaddy Purple. And there you have it. It's called Slimy Fuel when you do the Granddaddy Purple and you do these mixes. Now, as you can tell, between all four of them, the Mega Gruel is by far the most profitable, being $133. We've got the green stuff out of the way. Now, we're gonna go try and do it with the crystal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my crystal barn, and I'll go ahead and cook some up, and then we'll bring the mixes back over here, and we will see how much we can make with that. Now, obviously, for the best results, you're gonna wanna get some high quality. All right, so to make the crystal, you just need to get that pseudo, the phosphorus, and the acid, and then you begin it. So what you do is you start by putting the pseudo in first, and then you do your phosphorus. Now you can do this in any order, it doesn't really matter. Throw your acid in there, and take the bottle out, obviously. You start to mix it in there a little bit, and then you will pull this guy down, and you will pour this in here. And once you do that, you will pull this back up, and then you will start to cook it. Now the goal is to keep it around this green line here, but if you go too hot or too cold, it doesn't do well. Now, actually, you know what? I want to know what happens if you just keep it too high up. Oh, sweet Jesus! Okay, well, I just reloaded it, and I made it on my own, because I didn't know that was going to happen. So let's go ahead and try this with the crystal now. All right, and so there you have it. OG Piss, $258. That is the most you can make on the crystal from what I have found. Now, we can try it with the flour and see what that gives us now. And that's it. That right there is $552 for the flour mixing with these ingredients. Now, obviously, all of this is done with the premium quality, which is the purple star. I haven't tested it with the heavenly, which is the orange star, the yellow star, whatever you want to call it. I haven't tested it with that. But this right here is, for purple star, the most profitable drug that you can make with the highest multiplier effects mixed in with it. Now, there could be other ways that you could do it to maybe get other effects that give you even more of a profit, but this is what I found when trying to experiment with what I had. And that right there is $552 for each individual piece of flour that you sell. I just want to also point out that this has laxative and paranoia, so whoever I decide to give this to is gonna have fun. You know what? I have the perfect person I can give this to. Now, how did I know that you were gonna be here? I got something for you. Here you go, try this. You're so tiny. Alright, well, hopefully this can give you all a good idea of how to make some pretty serious money. One thing I can say is, depending on how much that each individual person wants to spend per day, that may affect how much you actually sell in a day. If you are just growing a lot and you're not selling enough, maybe just don't grow as much. Because what I have found that is, it doesn't matter how much you make, if these people are not willing to spend more than a certain amount of money, then you're going to end up having yourself in a position where you're going to be making too much product and not selling enough. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. There are some customers like Chloe Bowers, for example. No matter what, she will always ask you for one. From any kind of mixing that I've ever done, she only asks for one. Now, there are some customers who have actually increased the amount that they want. Like Anna Chesterfield was one of them, and Javier Perez, however you say his name, he also increased the amount that he wanted to buy from me at one point as well. I'm not exactly too sure how that works out, or what causes them to want to order more from you or never change how much they want to order from you. But if you find yourself in a position where you're just making too much product and you're not selling enough, even with giving it to your dealers, just maybe cut back on production for a little bit. Maybe take some money out of your workers' briefcases, or unassign them a bed so they stop working, or however you want to do it. But that'll be up to you to decide whether or not you want to do that, or if you plan on making more or less. But this was just to show you the mix that I found and what I think would be the most profitable. So thank you all for watching, and have a good one.